I want to get quickly to Steve Moore with developments coming fast and furious from Washington on this next round of coronavirus stimulus. Everybody's watching, Steve. The Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, next few days, Republican bill is supposed to be out. There have been some rumblings today that the Republicans might be open to, on the enhanced unemployment benefits, not an overall extension, $600 where we've been, but some sort of a limited extension there. What do you think?
Yeah, by the way, thanks for having me. Sorry to be a few minutes late. Actually, I was on the phone with some of my sources over at the White House on Capitol Hill trying to get the latest information about this. So basically what's happened is that the Republicans are now saying that they want to go up to 70% of your previous paycheck. So in other words, right now, it is a crazy system that only lunatic could set up, where in many states workers are getting almost twice as much of an income from staying out of a job than going back on the job. So that obviously is really bad for the economy. And Nancy Pelosi wants to extend that for 6 more months. Republicans are saying, look, we want to provide people with the safety net if they lose their job, but we don't want to provide them all of the income that they would have if they were working, because that's not fair to the people who are working. So they would go to about 70%, which is more generous than normal unemployment benefit, gives them the safety net, but also gives them an incentive to go on a job. One quick thing, employers around the country are saying they can't get workers back on the job because of these high benefits.
Right. We've talked a lot about that, Steve, as you know, including in our conversations with you over the last few months. Just so I understand it right, you have your state unemployment insurance. That would stay as is, obviously. And then, somebody makes $100,000 a year, whatever it is, they take 70% of that, whatever you make weekly, and they add to it. So I mean, it's not $600 a week, but it's whatever the 70% is. Is that right? And do you personally support this?
So what I would support is just going back to the old unemployment insurance system that's been up and running for 50 years, and it works pretty well. Again, it provides people with an income so they can pay their rent, they can pay for their food and so on, but it also incentivizes people who become unemployed to get back into the job market as quickly as possible. But yeah, a 70% buffer, I think, is something everybody can live with. It provides even a better benefit than you would normally get from unemployment insurance, but it also incentivizes those people to get back into a job. Now, there was some talk earlier late last week about giving people 100% rather than 150 or 200%. And I have a problem with that as well, because we find in our studies that we would lose about 6 million jobs, 6 million jobs before the end of the year if you do that. If you're a construction worker or working in a factory and you can make as much money sitting at home rather than going on the job and working in a tough job, yeah, people are going to be reluctant. And Republicans really need to make the fairness argument here, that we are pro-work, pro-worker. And the way to reward work is to make sure that people who are unemployed aren't. And by the way, that's, as you know, that's why I'm such a big advocate of the payroll tax cut, because that actually provides a pay raise.
Where are we
people
on that? Because I'm running up against a break a little bit. Steve, I'm sorry to step on you, but I'm running up against a break a little bit. So I know you and Steve Forbes and others have been pushing that hard. Well, for everything I've been reading, a lot of Republicans are still opposed. When you speak to the White House, will they give on the payroll tax cut? Will the president sign a bill that does not include that, do you think? And should he? Is that a place where you'd be willing to, have some compromise?
Sure, it's in play. I think the president definitely wants a payroll tax cut. Larry Kudlow wants it. Steve Forbes wants it. Our Laffer wants it. I've talked to many of the Republicans in Congress. Incidentally, I don't understand Democrats saying they're against it. They were for it 10 years ago when Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi said 10 years ago, a payroll tax cut is one of the best ways to help workers. Now she's saying it won't help workers. I don't get her logic.
Right. Steve, good to see you. Unfortunately, as I said, we're up against that break. We'll continue this discussion over the next few days as the negotiations continue. Thank you for your insight.